Hi there and welcome to another session of Business Studies for the 12th standard with me, Vishwanath sir. We are in the revision mode and we shall continue to revise further. We are right now with the chapter Nature and Significance of Management, where we last discussed coordination, the essence of management. We shall go ahead from that because coordination usually is the end part of the chapter, and also discuss a few case studies and wind up this particular chapter with the revision mode. Okay, so we now go directly first to the characteristics of coordination. The number one characteristics of coordination is it integrates group efforts. Now, the very word coordination means is to combine. So, it unifies unrelated or diverse interests into purposeful activity. It gives common focus to the group effort and to ensure that the performance as it was planned and scheduled. So everything goes as per order if you plan, if you schedule, and of course the activity should be a purposeful activity. Take for example the school children preparing something for the Independence Day. Some of them are preparing a skit, some of them are preparing a speech, some of them a dance or a song. So everything has to synchronize. Everything has to coordinate, everything has to go together. So the first thing what coordination does is that it integrates the group efforts. Going further from here, coordination ensures unity of action. Okay, the meaning of unity of action is a very simple thing. Everyone is going in the right direction, everyone is going with a common purpose, and it acts like a binding force between the department, and it sees that every action is aimed towards the achievement of goals of an organization. So the purpose of coordination is to secure unity of action in the realization of a common purpose. It acts as a binding force between the department and ensures that all the action which is aimed at achieving the goals of the organization. Okay, from point number 2 I go to the point number 3, where they tell that coordination is a continuous process. It's not going to stop. Okay, an organization has to continue its work. An organization has to work together with a group of people, and you have to work in such a way that you are doing the work in the better interest of the organization, not in your individual capacity. Okay, every moment of yours is dedicated to the organization once you arrive and start working for the organization. So coordination is not a one-time function, it's a continuous process. It begins at the planning stage and continues till the controlling stage. So it will go on. Okay, that was point number 3 for you, where they say that coordination is a continuous process. Now we come to point number 4. Coordination is a all-pervasive function. Now here we have to understand what is the meaning of the word pervasive. When we talk about the word pervasive, that means it is there at all particular levels. Okay, be it the top level, be it the middle level, be it the bottom level, be it the level where the workers are doing the production process. So it's there at all the levels, and because of that we can tell it is a pervasive function. So coordination is required at all levels of management due to the interdependent nature of activities of various departments. It integrates the efforts of different departments and different levels also. Okay, so it is an all-pervasive function. It is existing at all levels. Now we go to point number 5, which tells us that coordination is the responsibility of the managers. Okay, it's a responsibility of the managers. That means basically these managers are some the people who are in between the top management and the bottom level management. So coordination is the function of every management in an organization. The top level managers need to coordinate with their subordinates to ensure that the overall policies of the organization are duly carried out. Middle level management coordinates with the help of the top and the first line managers. Operational level management coordinates with the activities of the workers and ensure that the work goes as per the plans. Fine. So this was coordination is the responsible of the. So the person who's in charge will see to it that the work is done for a particular day, for a particular week, for a particular month, and so on, so that the targets are achieved gradually. We come to point number 6 in the features or characteristics of coordination, which tells us that coordination is a deliberate function. Yes, agreed. It has to be there, it has to happen, because if coordination doesn't happen, there will be havoc in the organization, a lot of chaos, and things will not go as per whatever you are aiming for. So a manager has to coordinate the work of different people in a conscious and a deliberate manner. Even where the members of a department are willingly cooperative, coordination gives a direction to that willing spirit. Okay, so when people are ready to work, okay, they are enthusiastic and they are working for the betterment of the organization, there is a zest, there is a spirit in all of them, and in this case coordination gives a proper direction to these people who have the willing spirit to go on. Okay, so these were the characteristics or features of coordination. Let's just go through the points again. Point number 1 tells us that coordination integrates group efforts. Okay, so it brings everything together. It ensures unity of action. So whatever decisions you're taking it for the common purpose of the organization. It's a continuous process. It's going to go on and on and on. It's a pervasive function. That means it's existing at all levels. It is the responsibility of the manager, because someone has to take in charge. If someone doesn't take charge, everyone will be a manager. Okay, so there will be a problem later on. So the person who's in charge, the managers in charge of the particular departments, should be taking their decisions. Also, finally, it is a deliberate function. It has to happen because sometimes people do not move, and people have to move. You have to move their mindsets completely in such a way that they improve. Okay, so these were the characteristics or features of coordination. Now let us come to the importance of coordination. It's easier for us to derive the importance since we know the characteristics. Number 1, growth in size. Okay, so when coordination happens, the organization is likely to grow, and grow in size, grow in volume, grow in terms of sales, grow in terms of number of employees. So this is basically what is going to happen. As the organizations grow in size, the number of people employed in the organization also increases. At times it becomes difficult to integrate these efforts and activities. All individuals differ in their habits of work, background and approaches to the situation and the relationships with the others. It becomes necessary to ensure that all the individual works towards the organizational goals, which becomes a common goal of the organization. Then the organizational efficiency is important to harmonize individual goals and organizational goals through coordination. So this is a very important aspect. So now from the importance, that is growth in size, we come to the next important, functional differentiation, where people who work in a specific area, they start becoming experts in that particular area, and hence, things can be done more easier. Fine. So this is certain things which the organization also has to take into consideration. Okay, so the importance of coordination so far, first was growth in size, second was functional differentiation. So rather than anything conflicts arising from first, it's better that you settle things as they are. Then we come to the last importance of coordination, that is specialization. Specialization basically tells that you have acquired a high degree of proficiency in whatever you are doing, and it arises due to the complexities of modern technology and the diverse tasks to be performed. Organizations therefore need to be employed in different places, in different professional criteria. This often leads to a conflict among different specialists as well as the others in the organization. There sometimes coordination is required by an individual person to reconcile the different approaches, interest or opinion of the specialist. Okay, so just repeating the three importance of coordination: growth in size, growth in functional differentiation, and growth in specialization. So these are the three importance of coordination. Okay, please go through these points and see that you can reproduce and write some matter regarding to that. Thank you so much. This is Vishwanath sir signing off.